For the base color, I'm choosing a shade that's not too dark and not too bright, so I can put shadows on top of that easily later. The t-shirt is gonna be translucent, so I'm making a layer on top of all the other layers and taking the opacity down to like 50%. Now I'm taking my Sharp Cloud shading brush and putting down some big areas of shadow. I love using this brush because I can put down sharp edges shadows and soft edge shadows at the same time. Now, when I'm choosing the colors for the face, I am analyzing the reference picture and I'm seeing some of the colors that stand out a little bit more, and I take them and I exaggerate them. So you can see above her eye, there's some yellow, and it's pretty yellow, right? And below her eyes, there's a pretty strong red. It's not the way it looks in real life, it's the way I made it, because I like to make my pieces more interesting. But to not make it look like an Instagram filter from like 2012, I have to have some balance. And to keep the balance, I am also looking for some areas that are less saturated, and I make them even less saturated. Not too much and not too many of those areas, but just some of them to keep the balance. When you zoom out, it just looks better, trust me. But if you don't want to do that, there's another trick, which is just introducing the opposite hues of the most dominant hues. So let's say there's a lot of orange and the opposite is gonna be blue. You can go into the blue hues and introduce some of that into the face in some spots. That way you will also balance it out and make it really interesting. When shading a translucent t-shirt like that, I'm trying to lay down a base, which you don't have to make perfect because you're gonna draw some details on top of that. It just has to have the general idea of what kind of colors are in there, and then you just blend it out, right? You don't have to try too hard. And then I'm using my smudge brushes to be able to like transform and transfer the colors from one area to the other area. That way I can really quickly and dynamically add some details and use the right colors and take other colors from other areas. It gives you a lot of freedom of adjusting everything, and I just love it. It's good to learn the kind of nature of a material, of how they act, so you don't have to copy every single little detail on a t-shirt. If you know the nature of movement of a material, you can just kind of go with the flow and kind of just draw whatever, not exactly the same thing you see on a reference. This is gonna be it for today. If you want to see the brushes used in this video, or maybe check out my digital art course, everything is in the link in my bio, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.